Hey everyone, today I want to go over how to solve rational equations. So a rational equation is basically an equation where the variable is in the denominator. So let's go over an example. Let's say we had this equation 9 over 2x minus 5 over 4x equals 7 over 2. So we have this equation right here. And our goal with any equation, wherever we want to solve an equation, is to isolate x. We want to solve for the variable, which is x in this case. And as you can see right here, it might be a little tricky to solve for x in this scenario, since it sits in the denominator of these two fractions, over 2x and 5 over 4x. But with rational equations, there is a way to get x to be isolated, but the goal is to move x to the numerator and get it out of the denominator. So how do we do that? What we're going to do is we are going to multiply both sides of this equation. So let's move this more to the center. And with rational equations, you want to multiply both sides of the equation, and you want to multiply it by the least common denominator of these equations. So of 2x and 4x, what is the LCD? What is the least common denominator? So it happens to be 4x. 4x is the least common denominator. And that is because 2x times 2 gives you 4x, and 4x times 1 will also give you 4x. So 4x is the least common denominator, it's the LCD. So we're going to multiply both sides by 4x. 4x here and 4x here. And when we multiply this left part by 4x, we have something being multiplied outside of a parentheses, so we can distribute it. So 4x times this fraction, and then plus 4x times this fraction. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have 4x times 9 over 2x plus, and we have 4x times negative 5. 4x times negative 5. It's this negative 5 up here, negative 5. 4x times negative 5 over 4x. And then on the right side of this, we have 4x. Let me just change the color of this 4x just so we could see it. So 4x, and then 4x times 7 over 2. Okay, so we've multiplied both sides of the equation by the least common denominator, 4x. Great, but now what does that do? So you might notice right here that in this first term, 4x times 9 over 2x, the x in the numerator and the denominator cancel out. Good. And we are left with 4 times 9 over 2. So 4 over 2, we can just simplify that to 2, since 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this becomes 2. And we're left with 2 times 9. So 2 times 9 is 18. So let's just write 18. This entire term just simplifies to 18. And let's do this one. This one comes out nicely because 4x is in the numerator and the denominator, so we can cancel both of those out. And we are just left with this negative 5. So let's write down that negative 5. So negative 5. So 18 plus negative 5, it's really just 18 minus 5. It's the same thing. Adding a negative number is the same as just subtracting that number. So 18 plus negative 5 is really just 18 minus 5. So we have that on the left side of the equation. And on the right side, we can simplify this, the 4 over 2. And 4 over 2 is just 2. So we have 2 times x times 7. So we have 2 times x times 7. And we can evaluate this even more. What is 2 times 7? That's 14. So 14 is what we write. 14x. Excellent. So by multiplying both sides by the least common denominator, we've managed to get x out of these denominators right here, out of both of these denominators in this rational equation, and we managed to get it in a numerator, and we made this a very simple equation to solve. So now we can simplify, or we can isolate x. And before we do that, let's go ahead and simplify this. 18 minus 5 is 13. So that's 13 equals 14x. And let's just rearrange this just to make it easier. So 14x equals 13. Just flip it. And then let's go ahead and isolate x by dividing both sides by 14. That cancels that out. So x is just 13 over 14. And that is how we solve for x in a rational equation. And that is one way to do it. You would multiply both sides by the least common denominator. So let's go through another scenario. Let's say we had 8 over 3x minus 1 equals 21 over 2x. Okay, so now this is a slightly different rational equation. We have x's in both denominators on either side of the equal sign. So whenever you come across a situation like this, it is a fraction equal to a fraction. You can use a little trick called cross multiplying. So cross multiplying, cross multiplication. So cross multiplication. And how cross multiplication works is you multiply the numerator up here, so 8, by the denominator in the other, or on the other side of the equal sign, 2x. And you're going to multiply the numerator on the right side to 21 by the denominator in the other side of the equal sign, so 3x minus 1. So let's go ahead and cross multiply. So first we'll do this blue portion right here, 8 times 2x. 8 times 2x equals, and we'll do this orange portion right here, 21 times 3x minus 1. So 21 times, don't forget the parentheses because we're doing it to the entire binomial, 3x minus 1. And there we go. That's how we cross multiply. And let's go ahead and keep simplifying until we solve for x. So what is 8 times 2x? That is 16x equals. And what do we do about this 21 times this binomial? We can distribute. So 21 times 3x plus 21 times negative 1. So what's 21 times 3x? So what's 21 times 3? That's 63. So that's 63x. Plus 21 times negative 1 is negative 21. So again, a plus negative is just a minus. So that is 63x minus 21. And we can go ahead and keep simplifying until we get to x. So we have x's on both sides of this, both sides of the equal sign. So let's go ahead and actually, let's subtract both sides of this by 63x. 63x, 63x. And what is 16 minus 63x? So 16x minus 63x. And that would equal negative 21. So what is 16x minus 63x? That is 47x. So, or negative 47x. Negative 47x equals negative 21. Let's go ahead and divide both sides by negative 47. Negative 47. And we are left with x equals, so we can write negative 21 over negative 47. But when we have a negative in the numerator and denominator, we could actually just cancel both of those out, since a negative divided by a negative is a positive anyway. So there we go. This is the same as 21 over 47. And that is what x equals, and that's our final answer. So that's how you solve rational equations. I hope this video helps, and please let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions at all, and thank you for watching.